We tap a screen, and a photograph instantly appears on a device thousands of miles away. It feels like magic, a weightless transaction occurring in a realm we've been taught to call the cloud. This digital layer relies on a heavy industrial infrastructure of steel, glass, and concrete that requires constant physical maintenance to function. To find where the internet actually lives, we can trace a single photograph as it travels from a smartphone in New York to a destination in London. The moment you hit send, your phone shreds that image into millions of tiny packets of binary code, a sequence of ones and zeros. These bits travel via radio waves, broadcasting through the air to reach the nearest cell tower or Wi-Fi router. The router translates these waves into microscopic pulses of laser light, firing them into a physical glass tube. That brief wireless jump from your hand to the wall is the only time the data is airborne. For the rest of the journey, the photograph is tethered to the ground. Your image is now a stream of light racing through fiber optic cables buried beneath the street, moving through a local network owned by an internet service provider. To reach another continent, the data must exit this local provider's territory and enter a broader global transit network. This handoff occurs at an Internet Exchange Point, or IXP, typically an unassuming, windowless building located in an urban center. Inside these rooms, distinct autonomous systems physically plug their cables into one another's hardware to facilitate the transfer of data packets. The global internet relies on rival corporations agreeing to link their physical hardware inside these specific rooms to maintain a continuous path for the light. If the data needs to be heavily processed or permanently stored, it moves into a massive hyperscale data center. These facilities cover millions of square feet, housing thousands of humming rack-mount servers that process billions of transactions in real time. The sheer volume of electricity required to power these processors generates a massive amount of heat that threatens to destroy the hardware. Preventing a meltdown requires heavy industrial cooling systems, ranging from high-capacity air conditioning to lines of liquid coolant pumped directly over the processor cores. These windowless fortresses are protected by 24-hour security and massive uninterruptible power supplies to ensure the data remains accessible even during a grid failure. Every cloud application is actually running inside one of these guarded, energy-hungry warehouses. To cross the Atlantic, your photograph travels to the coastline, where the land-based fiber connects to the deep sea. Nearly all transoceanic traffic is carried by a global network of submarine cables resting on the ocean floor. These are heavy, armored pipes built to protect a core of hair-thin fiberglass strands from the pressure and salt of the abyss. Specialized ships lay this infrastructure by slowly dragging industrial plows across the seabed, unspooling thousands of miles of cable behind them. Our global communications depend on these glass tubes. The entire system is vulnerable to something as simple as a ship's anchor dragging across the silt. Pulling back to a planetary scale reveals the true anatomy of this machine. Around 400 submarine cables wrap the Earth, connecting major continents to specialized coastal landing stations. Data speed is strictly governed by geographic distance. The time to cross the ocean is a result of the wire's physical length. Laying armored cable costs hundreds of millions of dollars, so companies map routes based on the highest expected return. When construction costs exceed expected revenue, regions become uneconomic. This calculation leaves rural and low-income areas as dark voids, disconnected from high-speed transit. Keeping this network alive requires constant human labor, specialized repair vessels, and a massive, continuous consumption of energy. The internet is a physical, planet-sized machine, a fragile and resource-intensive infrastructure grounded in the soil and the sea.